And welcome back. As you can see, I fixed my mic, and we are playing the Sands of the Empire. Well, Empires of Sand video. We're playing as the Aska. The Aska, I have difficulties handling. Like, I don't know what their strength is yet. But once I find it, it'll be good. Now, we'll look at the Roman composition first before mine. You'll see the compositions at the end. So, I have to admit, at first, when I seen all these Scholar Palatina and Herculani, I was like, there's no way in hell we're fighting on even terms. But he did have a silver comms, which did make me confused. Then I went into it and checked it, and I'm like, damn, this works. So, yeah, this is a very strong build. Like a lax in skirmishers, but makes up for in a heavy-hitting cavalry. Western Rome's not famous for it, but Scholar Palpatine a bit overpriced for the job. But for Western Rome, this is the best cav. But Aska, on the other hand, I don't really know. Like, I know how to play the other ones pretty well. Line up with heavy infantry and that, but I'm a tad bit confused with the other bits. Like, the comps here, these guys can match up. And I was going for a new formation. I think that could have contributed as well as experimenting. Like, I was going to put my cavalry in the wings, and basically what I was going to do was I was going to launch attacks with my cavalry periodically, but because of Scholar Palpatina and my seemingly inadequacy to click my units correctly so they can flee out the battle instead of, well, I do click on the edge, but they keep continuing fighting, so I don't know what's going on. It's not a long battle, thankfully, so it's only a good 5 minutes of your time wasted, everyone. So you see, we begin our little skirmish. Slingers are still very cost effective. They're lightly armored, and as you can see, some slingers are very manly. He's still fighting with the shoulder. God damn it. So you see, I do have my Arabian cavalry. They get wrecked. Or Arabic, to be precise, but I can't challenge the Scholar Palpatina head on. I think I need to look into this build and mix it up a bit more, because the Arabian cavalry are pretty good light cavalry, but I can't really use them to beat heavier cavalry. And in this case, the only people who could do that were the camel lancers, and they're not exactly brilliant when it comes to a heavy fight, but these guys could. These are the spearmen. You see, here's a moment that really shows you Total War dynamics go on. So I line up my spearmen, tell them to get in the screen shield. They got about 5 seconds. It just finishes when boom. So as you can see, the spearmen are moved out of position, and we weren't able to lower their spears enough. And I think this was a deciding factor in the bit, because then I realized, oh crap, they're so heavy I can't hold them back with my spearmen. And basically the Romans are advancing, you know, waiting until all their units get into position. And I'm going to try and do a feint strategy where I just fall back and use my superior range to whittle them down. And here's where things get a tad bit confusing. Okay, so there's the combat over there. Here's my efforts. So I'm clicking around, order my army to retreat, one click, and they stay. They go and face their enemy. I think I meant that on purpose. They go around there. But everyone else just starts walking, and I feel like, is it something to do with me? These guys actually still pursue their targets straight into the waves of Herculani, which, for those who do not know history, are like, well, they're not like, they are the Emperor's bodyguard. Some very elite legionaries, and they're pretty dangerous. So you see, at this point I have no choice but to engage, because these Scholar Palpatina are just going to wreck my lines. You can see this battle's not going in my favor. I've lost control, and I think I had a fighting chance. I certainly put a dent in his ranks, but and so you see my Arabian horsemen do finally get out. I think it might be the Arabian horsemen, because they're too lightly armored, especially against the Scholar Palpatina. Like, the Herculani combined with the strong cavalry makes a solid center, but if you get outranged this army, that's it. But I had no range units. I mean, like, this DLC was just released today, so I'm experimenting here. Like, the other video worked out pretty well, but with the Aska, I think they're more of a hard-hitting faction than a standing one. I think, but I don't know. But I need to work on a few builds. Like, the infantry's definitely strong enough. Like, you see these guys will hold on for a decent amount of time despite the odds. And the Spice Warriors will rack up a formidable amount of kills with their massive axes of death. We'll just watch the carnage here as these Axe Warriors literally run in. Well, Spice Guards, actually. That's their name. Using their massive two-handed death axes. I mean, like, backed up with these Kurdish Shorto, they're able to hold on, but you see my opponent does something sneaky and formed his units into shield wall, which improves their defense in that. So now they're essentially double most their stats. And the reason why I know it's shield wall is, well, because look at that. They're just standing there. They're not going into position. That's it. It's a very good secret and a very dirty one, and because he's got Scholar Palpatina, I can't hit around the flanks. Have to handle them before I move on to the infantry fight. And the Herculani are ripping through my men. So, yeah. At this point in the battle, I've lost, and the Slingers, I mean, like, from a certain angle, they will do damage. And up against my Spice Guards, I mean, like, the Spice Guards do have bows, but I find their axes far more crushing. They're specialist unit. Like, they'll do some archery. They won't stand up much in an archer fight. I mean, like, yeah, they definitely do have better armor. Don't get me wrong. Oh, wait, that's a Kurdish. There's the Spice Guard. Yeah, they have very low armor, but do high damage. Like, here comes another unit. Don't know what was going on there. Like, you do see the spearmen do hold on for a fantastically good time. But other than that, at this point, I don't know what's going on at the bottom of the screen. Please forgive me. At this point, he's really just firing in. Typical Roman cowardly tactic. So let's get some good close quarter combat here going. You just see the Spice Guard running on in. Just really hacking away with abundance. Let's concentrate on this one. Yep, that was not dramatic. Oh, here's one. Just a Roman like, what are you doing? Quit hitting me with the axe. No. And just Roman turns around. He thinks, oh wait, you're still there? Oh. So the Spice Guard, really hard hitting unit. Can't stand up that long in a fight though. And you see, I continue to fight on regardless of the odds. Trying to chase away these skirmishers. Buying my guards time just to really hammer in as many kills as they can, but just the sheer mass of Romans in the center. I mean, like, without hard-hitting cavalry, archers wouldn't be much help because they got big shields. So cavalry, I think that's the weakness in this army. I think, like, the infantry's good. It's solid infantry. Skirmishers, maybe. But the cavalry and the Aske, like, not the faction, but in this particular army I used against the Romans, wasn't really successful. Let's look at the kills. Yeah, you see the Arabian cavalry. Great light horsemen, but nothing much else. But the Arabian guard doing much better. Other than that, it was a pretty crushing defeat. Herculani gets a lot of kills. The Scholar Palpatina, although being sacrificed, did get a lot of kills, and I wasted most of my army actually trying to kill them. Then I had a Scholar to get through. So, I know, hard luck. So, don't forget to comment, subscribe, and all that jazz, and I will see you next time. Aksum is definitely a hard-hitting faction. No doubt about it. Unless you guys want to comment down below what the hell I did wrong. Which I doubt, because I'm the king strategist.